Well, the next film I want to take a look at is the second film by director Savaas D. Michael that is out at the moment. For those that didn't hear my review for Original Gangster, what's happening at the moment is that with Original Gangster coming out, the production company and the distribution company behind that film have actually released Savaas D. Michael's last two films as well. And the film of his that came out in 2020 was a film called Righteous Villains. Now, I was pretty excited to sit down and watch this. I know I'm watching his career backwards at the moment because I watched Original Gangster first and loved it, so I'm kind of going backwards with his films. Righteous Villains actually came out last year, but it's just come onto VOD right now. And I gotta say, yeah, this film, again, like with Original Gangster, it's not what you expect. This is a kind of interesting theme. Of course, you've probably heard on conspiracy websites and seen the Tinfoil Hat Brigade on Facebook talk about this group called the New World Order that's supposed to exist. Apparently, COVID was the great reset by them, kind of thing. This film treats the New World Order as if it actually does exist. Now, two people suddenly get contacted by this secret organization. The first is Jeremiah, played by Jamie Crew, and he's kind of a small-time con man, and he suddenly gets invited to by a person in a white suit that we don't get to see at that point to go to this rendezvous point. The other person that gets that invite as well is Jolly, played by Lois Brabham Platt. Now, she is in mourning because her husband that she loved dearly, Mickey, played by Gary Dourdan, was killed. He basically met her when she was working as a prostitute. They got together, they ended up running a pub, and Mickey was selling drugs out of that pub. One day, a deal goes horribly wrong when these two guys walk in. Jolly manages to shoot both of them, but not before they kill her husband. And she also gets this invite. Now, what they're invited to do is to go and find this very special baby on Devil's Island. And if they go and get this baby, it means that humankind will keep on going, kind of thing. But when they get there, they find suddenly that Satan, played by Adam Deacon, invites them to join him. So it's a twisted little film. It's a great kind of take on this whole New World Order thing that like a lot of people have been talking about over the last 12 months. So, but this film, this is where I'm still torn on whether I like this film or whether I don't like this film, because it starts off with a very gangster kind of feel, and I guess like both the characters of Jeremiah and Jolly come from that kind of gangster background almost, so that you do get that feel. This film has a very lock, stock, two smoky barrel snatch kind of feel to it very early on, and then it kind of goes into this weird kind of thing where there's like saints and Satan and things like that. So it almost suddenly feels like it becomes like a film like Dogma by Kevin Smith, but the comedy isn't there. Like, this is a deadly serious film, and the whole time that you're watching it, you're kind of wondering whether Jeremiah and Jolly will whether they'll see through the mission and be successful at it, or whether they will give in to temptation, kind of thing as well. So it is a very kind of twisted kind of film. There's also some weird kind of scenes in there with Steven Berkoff as well, with it. That's just, yeah, you don't know where this film is going to go. It kind of reminds me of the films that you see here in Australia by experimental filmmakers like Jim Stamatakos. It has that experimental kind of edge to it, but at the same time, sometimes I kind of wonder if that experimental edge almost kind of gets in the way of the story sometimes in this film. But look, as I said with Original Gangster, there's something that you can always say about this director, about Savaas D. Michael, and that is he does things his way. There's a difference to his films, and that's what sets it apart. It's what I loved about Original Gangster, and that's the side of Righteous Villains that I liked as well. Like, I'd be lying if I sat here and said that I was ever bored while I was watching Righteous Villains. I wasn't. I enjoyed the story. It was just very, very different to kind of what I expected, and in a lot of ways that was good. So I didn't get the stock standard gangster flick that I was expecting. So yeah, I have to admit that I kind of liked that it was a little bit different. I thought the big winners out of this film were definitely Lois Brabham Platt. I thought she was really, really good as Jolly. Can't wait to see her do something else as well, because I think she's got a great career ahead of her. Jamie Crew I thought was very good as Jeremiah as well. He's someone else that I would like to see do a little bit more with his career as well. But like I said, this is a very strange kind of film. If you're going to go on this retrospective and have a look at Savaas Michael's films, of course you're going to have to watch it because it's part of his past. But yeah, I don't think it's quite as good as Original Gangster, but certainly not a film that bored me or anything like that. I'm going to give this one 3 out of 5.